We have some major updates on the Bears coaching search as there's some new reports, conflicting ones on Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. Plus, Mike McCarthy is in Chicago today meeting with the Bears brass. We'll talk about that as well here on today's show. And I wanted to plug my other YouTube channel, 4Verts. A lot of you guys know about it. I cover the NFL and college football over there, kind of a passion project. Launched it just before football season. We are so close to 6,000 subscribers. I would love to get over the finish line today. If you just love staying on top of the NFL, I did a full NFL head coach predictions video the other day. Check that out. Daily news, rumors, reacting to all the playoff games. Plus, we sprinkle in some college football as well. 68 subs away. Can we get there? YouTube.com/@4verts. I'll put the link to subscribe over there in the comments and description of this video. I would appreciate it if we could get to 6,000 subs ASAP. Okay, let's talk about the latest on Ben Johnson and the Raiders. A local Raiders reporter who we'll get to in a second says there is momentum between Ben Johnson and Las Vegas. That coming in from Vinny Bonsignore. He's covered the Raiders for a while now. Mitchell Renz, who works here at Chat Sports, covers the Raiders. He says Vinny is one of the top guys who gets scoops. He's gotten some good information, especially recently when it comes to the Raiders and news and everything surrounding that football team. He's had some breaking news stories in the past, so he's got some skins in the game. Now, obviously, this isn't necessarily, Rappaport or Schefter, etc., but I do think this is noteworthy, and if you've been paying attention to the cycle, I do think there is some mutual interest there between Johnson and the Raiders. Now, Schefter today on the Pat McAfee Show had this to say about Ben Johnson in Las Vegas. He said, quote, "If he takes the Raiders job, he's now going to a division where the head coaches are Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and Jim Harbaugh, and the quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and Justin Herbert. And you're going to a team, that doesn't even have a quarterback, doesn't have a draft pick to go land a quarterback, and has to find a way somehow to get a quarterback. So good luck with that." The Raiders have so much ground to make up right now, especially in that division, and that to me is what they have to overcome here. So, he's kind of, I think, giving his opinion on the situation, but I think he's also basing that opinion on the reporting that we've known for months is he wants a situation that he's comfortable with. Now, we've said this and we've talked about this. The one thing the Raiders can pitch because they fired their GM, Tom Telesco, Ben, we don't have a GM. You can run the show. You can bring in your own guy. You can be the de facto GM and have some front office people work under you. This can be your setup, whereas Chicago, unless they kick Ryan Poles to the curb, cannot offer that. I think Chicago offers pretty much everything else that's in their favor compared to the Lions, but I think that is the Raiders' pitch. Like, hey, Tom Brady's helping us, and you can run this football team the way you want to. Chicago, these other teams, they cannot do that because they have GMs in place. So who has the edge? Let's kind of revisit this between the Bears and the Raiders. Ownership. I'll go push. Mark Davis sucks. The McCaskies aren't very good. Whatever. I don't think that's advantage one way or the other. Now, if you want to count Tom Brady into that, I guess you could say Raiders, but majority ownership, push. Front office, Raiders, because, again, they don't have a GM. So the reason they get the edge is because they can pitch to Ben Johnson that you can bring in who you want. Quarterback, clearly Bears. They have a talented young player in Caleb Williams. The Raiders have Aiden O'Connell and no clear path to getting a quarterback. Current roster, Bears. The Raiders have two stud players, Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. What else do they really have? They have some good players. They have some nice complementary players. But the overall roster, the Bears are in much better shape. Offseason capital, push. They have a little more cap space, but the Bears have the extra day 2 draft pick. They're both picking inside the top 10 of every round. I think that's pretty even. If you wanted to say slightly Raiders, but when you combine it with the current roster, I think that all adds up in the favor of the Bears. Easier division, I'll go push to it. I think they're the two toughest divisions in the NFL. Easier conference, though, is the Bears. The AFC is tougher because the best quarterback's in the AFC. So, again, the Bears either have the advantage pretty much across the board, except for the fact that they can't pitch to Johnson, that they do not have a GM, and you can bring in who you want, or it's neck and neck. Is that enough? If you're the Raiders, like I don't know how they overcome this lack of a path to getting a quarterback. Like how do you answer that question? If I'm Ben Johnson, hey, Tom Brady, Mark Davis, how the hell are we going to get a quarterback right now? Sure, you could get one maybe in the future, but you don't know where you're going to be picking in the next draft. You don't know who you could possibly trade for. You don't know what players could be available. If Ben Johnson likes Caleb Williams, which it's been reported that he does, how much, who knows, I don't know how the Raiders fill that gap. I just don't. It'd be one thing if they had, even just a decent veteran in place. They don't. They have Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. I think that's a pretty tough sell. They have the number 7 pick in a QB draft that stinks. Are they going to be able to trade up and get Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, two not exactly Caleb Williams caliber prospects? And even if they do, are they going to hit? I'll say this again. If he actively chooses the Raiders over the Bears, that is a direct indictment on the Bears' power structure, because the only reason to me I could see him doing that is that the Raiders have Tom Brady and they have sold him on this idea that he can run the football operation the way he wants to, and the Bears have not sold him on that. Okay, what do you think is the better job right now when you add it all up? CHI for the Bears, LV for the Raiders. I get the Bears are a mess in a lot of ways. Ownership down, there's things that I do not like and that are not set up properly. But the Raiders, it's got to be a better job than the Raiders. I just refuse to believe that it's not, and we went through some of the reasons that I think that is the case. Something that is undoubtedly excellent and top of the market is Mando. Fellas, smell better for longer with Mando. I'm sure you've heard me talk about the Mando whole body deodorant at this point, which is safe to use anywhere on your body, your pits, your balls, your thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet, and everywhere in between. I love the Invisible Cream deodorant. It is such a good product. So are their wipes that you can just take on the go and dispose of them very easily. Don't have time to run home after a round of golf? These wipes help have you covered. Clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours. That is Mando. It's better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average man's grundle odor level is a 5 out of 10. With Mando, that average is 0 out of 10. It'll stop odor before it starts, as all of their products are baking soda free and paraben free as well. If you want to try America's #1 whole body deodorant formula right now, you could do so, and you can find these products at Walmart, Target, other retailers across the country. For the best deals, go to shopmando.com. Use code CHAT, shopmando.com, to get $5 off the starter pack with our exclusive code CHAT, C-H-A-T. Mando is available in 4 cologne quality scents: bourbon leather, Mount Fuji Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. The starter pack is perfect for new customers as it comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. You can get free shipping as well. That's shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Promo code CHAT to get 40% off. Support our show. Tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Link and promo code in the description of this video. Okay, let's go from Ben Johnson to Mike McCarthy, the two names that continue to be linked to the Bears more than any others. The red carpet is being rolled out for Mike McCarthy. Chicago flew him out, according to reports from Courtney Cronin, Kalen Kaler. Private accommodations. This was the tweet from Cronin, per a league source. The Bears are conducting their in-person interview with Mike McCarthy this afternoon. Their second known candidate to interview in person after Ron Rivera did on Sunday. McCarthy flew from Dallas to Wheeling in private accommodations, which is a departure from previous team protocol. McCarthy is also a target for the Saints opening and expected to interview with New Orleans. The report yesterday was that interview would take place at some point early next week. Look, I think the reality here, because I know people on Twitter, why is McCarthy getting a private flight out? Well, a couple things. One, they've only done one other in-person interview. That was Ron Rivera, who most people believe is a Rooney Rule checkbox, although Rivera deserves respect. He's been to a Super Bowl, had some success in this league, although it didn't go well in Washington. The reality for Mike McCarthy, and I'm glad the Bears realize this, he's not like most of the candidates they're interviewing. He's done the job. He's had success. There's different things to this. You shouldn't treat Drew Petzing and Mike McCarthy the same. Mike McCarthy, he can skip the Zoom interview. You go to step 2 with Mike McCarthy. Like, you go to step 2 with other guys. Like, if Ben Johnson's first interview could be in person, I would have expected them to do that one in person as well. This is a guy who's accomplished a lot. Don't have to re-hit what he's done. Is he a perfect candidate? No. Has he had recent high-level playoff success? No. But I just saw this guy win 12 games 3 years in a row with a healthy quarterback. Everybody's like, well, look what happened this year. In the 5 seasons he was in Dallas, when Dak Prescott was healthy, they won 12 games. Like, and everybody's like, well, yeah, when Dak got hurt, he had a winning record with Cooper Rush. And, oh, by the way, you kind of need guys to stay healthy. Look at the 49ers this year. A bunch of guys got hurt. They won 6 games. Like, it's just kind of how it goes. Like, if you have injuries, you're going to struggle as a team at the end of the day. Now, as far as could this be fast track? Could this happen tonight? Because I kind of wondered that. I was like, maybe David Shaw's interview was in person, but apparently that one was not. That was a Zoom interview as well, and it had to be. The in-person ones for people on staffs that made the playoffs cannot start until next Monday, so keep that in mind. Now, could they find another guy that wasn't on a playoff staff or wasn't on a staff at all that they could interview in person to comply with the Rooney Rule before Monday if they just fall in love with McCarthy today? Yeah, I'm sure they could find someone. The Patriots found Pep Hamilton to do that for them. But as of now, they're halfway there on complying with the Rooney Rule. They did Ron Rivera in person, but they would need one more external minority candidate to interview in person. Everybody's like, what about Thomas Brown? It's internal. He was on the staff already. That does not count. So I do think with all that being said, next week feels like the earliest for a hire because, A, I still think they're very much in on Ben Johnson, so they're going to let this next playoff game play out and see what happens with his status and moving forward. And even if they really like McCarthy, still have to go through the Rooney Rule. I still think they want to go through interviews with guys like Todd Monken. Joe Brady, I would guess, would be one they want to get done, and potentially a few others as well. So I do think today is a big day. I do think if today goes well with McCarthy, that could change kind of the calculus of, who's truly in the mix to get this job. But they're definitely skipping step 1 with Mike McCarthy. And quite frankly, I don't really have a problem with it. The only thing I've said that I would not love is if they interviewed McCarthy and hired him before doing a second interview with Ben Johnson. That would be disappointing to me. But we're not there right now. They're just meeting him in person today, and we'll see how it goes if and when we learn more information. Okay, just predict it for us. Today is January 15th. What date will it be when the Bears hire a head coach? Will it be January 22nd? Will it be February 7th, the day after the Super Bowl? Will it be, I think that's the day after the Super Bowl, will it be January 29th? What day do you think it'll be when the Bears hire a head coach? Predict it for us in the comment section below. My name is Harrison Graham. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on Bears Now on the way out. Go check out 4 Verts, my other channel as well, as we're trying to get to 6,000 subs. Bear down, and we will see you soon.